What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good wacky Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get started with this reading really quickly. It's a short reading. It's only 3 paragraphs, and I'm gonna model for you guys. Oops, made a highlight there. I'll just leave it. I'll explain when we get there. We're gonna go paragraph by paragraph, looking for dialogue, actions, feelings, and thoughts. We're gonna highlight those paragraphs at a time while we read. This story is about Prometheus. I'm sure I've already asked the question today. If anybody knows who Prometheus is or knows the story of Prometheus, but this is not the full story. This is just a short part of the story. You guys will read the full story later on. All right. Prometheus was a young Titan, no great admirer of Zeus. Although he knew the great lord of the sky hated explicit questions, he did not hesitate to beard him when there was something he wanted to know. Okay. Right here, I highlighted in green because we know that while it's not Prometheus that is talking, it is the third person narrator. Um, And in this case, we haven't read the rest, so we can't say if it's third person limited or omniscient yet, but we'll tell you at the end. So I don't want to jump to conclusions yet. We're going to highlight this part in green, right? Because this is a thought, and Prometheus is thinking something that he did not hesitate to fear him when there is something he wanted to know. This is kind of hinting to something that might happen later down, the conflict, the problem. Zeus is like the all-time great god, while Prometheus is a young God and in the Greek gods, everybody admires Zeus. So like Zeus will see this like kind of like a test of power when Prometheus questions him. One morning he came to Zeus and said, "O thunder, O thunder, I do not understand your design. You have caused the race of man to appear on earth, but you keep him in ignorance and darkness." Well, right there, this is the easiest one to highlight. We see these little quotation marks, right? That means that a character is speaking. That's all that it means. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to highlight that when we have dialogue. Dialogue is red. We're going to go ahead and highlight that in red. And dialogue is really important in causing character interactions that really are impactful in the plot because every time someone speaks, it of course can, and you guys just know this from life, it can react to somebody in a positive way or a very negative way. And in stories, authors intentionally use dialogue to create those interactions that then lead to conflicts later on in the plot or resolutions. So in this case, I'm leaning more towards this is starting to lead to the conflict, the problem right here. Perhaps you had better leave the race of man to me, said Zeus. Well, boom, quotation marks. We're going to highlight that there. And we can already see that that conflict that I was talking about, right? We know this dialogue is not used for solving things, resolutions. No, this is a conflict issue here. So this is like at the beginning of the story, like where it starts to get good. Good. All right, I'm so lame. Said Zeus, what you call ignorance is innocence. What you call darkness is the shadow of my decree. Man is happy now, and he is so framed that he will remain happy unless someone persuades him that he is unhappy. Let us not speak of this again. Okay, we're gonna highlight that part also in red here. Okay, so we have like this conversation, and we don't have necessarily we don't have any actions that are happening. We don't have any feelings that are happening here. But when you read the whole thing, you will have those there. So right now we're only going to have two highlights, two different colors, which is fine. That's okay. Sometimes not everything's going to be there, but in this case, it's dialogue and thoughts that are creating that plot interaction that creates the conflict later on. Anyways, I think you guys can see what the conflict of the story is, and mainly it's Prometheus asking too much questions, and later on in the story, you're going to see what Prometheus does that angers Zeus, and then we'll get to the resolution. So it's pretty interesting to see how, let me scroll up to our anchor chart here, how everything kind of just ties in. An author intentionally writes a narrative in a sense of creating something that's engaging, and how to make something engaging is a way of creating conflict. I've said this in the lesson, but there's not one story, any narrative story that does not have a problem, even if it's a small problem, because that's one way that humans find interesting. Humans find that seeing how people overcome problems, and maybe if they don't successfully achieve it, or if they successfully overcome that problem, that's one way that stories become interesting because we like to see these, heroes and these characters like go through these problems. Like the first thing I think of is Avengers Endgame. Like how are they going to defeat Thanos? Like Thanos has already won. They have to go back in time, like it's kind of like oh my gosh, you don't know what's going to happen. That was made because of really good writing and really good ways characters interact to impact the plot. And the plot was really well written out. We had a big conflict. We had a really good resolution in Endgame, very sad resolution, but overall, that's a perfect movie. Um, Honestly, a really perfect movie. And another book I think of is a book that I think of as Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows. It was way better than the movie, in my opinion, but the same thing. You get to see how every author creates this overarching plot diagram that's extremely important. Basically, they use this diagram to write out their rough draft to see how their story is going to go and if it has every important part of the story that makes a good story. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You're gonna go ahead, you're gonna answer really quickly. I'm gonna let you guys know now. This video is only 6 minutes. Yay! You're gonna go ahead and answer these two questions here. These comprehension questions, and that is going to be it for today. So, I hope you guys have a great wacky Wednesday and good job today. Thank you.